Okay, looks like we are on reflection number 4. So in this reflection, I want to talk a little bit about mother tongues and how they are perceived, with a focus on how they are perceived on the African continent. So because there are many countries on the African continent that were colonized, what happened was that the languages that the colonizers brought with them are the ones that have higher precedence in terms of how people consider education, how people consider upward mobility, and how people consider what is proper and what is right. So you might imagine that this is definitely something that is a very historical problem and has no relevance to date. I would say that that's not exactly the case. If you look at this Daily Nation article, what you see is that in this instance, 2 children were punished for speaking their mother tongue of the Luo in school. Furthermore, when you consider the fact that many youth don't speak their mother tongue anymore, and many parents don't teach their youth the mother tongue, and also the fact that many people consider mother tongue to be unsophisticated or behind, this tells you that indeed some of these scars are still present. I am not a social scientist, therefore I don't think I have the range to have a very deep conversation about the role of mother tongue in the psyche and psychology and identity of African people. But there are many people before me and around me who have written and thought and theorized with far more wisdom than I have, and their names should be scrolling on your screen right now. And I recommend that you take a chance to read the work and the writings of some of these people to better understand the role of mother tongue on the African continent, and to better understand some of the psychological chasms that can emerge when you exist in a certain language while concurrently having the language that you were born speaking or that represents who you are is considered less than. So this is a very important topic that has to be addressed and has to be acknowledged whenever one is discussing concepts of mother tongue and education in mother tongue, and most importantly, modernization of mother tongue. I should make the distinction that when I say modernization, I'm not trying to say that mother tongue is inherently backward. What I'm saying is that our languages have to be used currently for current topics and for topics as we discover them. And oftentimes we find that that is not the case. We find that our mother tongues are relegated to social contexts and never for technical concepts. If you consider the number of people who live in rural parts of Kenya, for example, that is a sizable number. And majority of those people speak their mother tongue. So if we do not develop our languages to talk about modern concepts, then that ends up stratifying people as a function of access to English and access to current knowledge and current technology. And so I think this discussion of mother tongue, who speaks it, and how modern current knowledge and education is stratified alongside those axes, I think that is a very important point to consider.